Hi guys, I'm in Jaffa now, in the old city of Jaffa. And guess who's with me and yourself? Eddie! Eddie is eating a pita bread, the sambusak, from one of the most, I think, well-known bakeries, which we are going to see soon. It's sell time in Israel. It's sell time because the Iranians are going to attack Israel. So I'm kidding. It's sell time because it's sell time. But look how beautiful is that square. This is the entrance of the ancient city of Jaffa. And what you can see here is the clock tower. Now, it doesn't look like, but Castro, it's an Israeli fashion, but that used to be the first shopping mall in Israel. And they decided to build a clock tower for the Sultan, Abdul Hamid II. They built 100 clock towers all over the emperor, but 5 of them were in Israel. Hard to believe, one of them was on top of Jaffa Gate in Jerusalem, which is not there anymore because the British didn't like it. But they started to build the tower, and you know, when you're building something, you think about a budget, but after the second floor, no more money. In that shopping mall, there was a guy with the only watch, or modern watch in Israel. Then people used to bother him by saying, "What's that time now, Yosef? What's that time now?" Then he decided to build the third floor. Look at the difference between the first two. Look at the round corners, and look at the above the windows and the door. It's a little bit decorated, but what you can see there, it's square. We just gave the exact amount of money to build the third floor of the tower. We are now walking through the old city together, through there. Can we go through the gate? Okay. That I'm crossing the street. No, it wasn't a red light when I started to cross it. Let me take you to the main entrance of the old city of Joppa. But look how beautiful is that clock tower. Why I actually mentioned the Iranian? Because they actually promised to bomb Israel soon. And as you can see, we're not really waiting for them. They might do that in about a day, in about an hour, but there's no reason for us to be afraid. And that was the main entrance. The clock tower was built here to tell everyone who comes from Europe, because that was the entrance to Europe, the Israeli entrance to Europe, that we are modern, we are beautiful, we do have clock towers. Look at the buildings around it. They look more like, more or less like European houses, less than Eastern houses. That shopping mall, for example, is owned by the Greek Orthodox. I don't know if my camera is so good, but you can see the Tafos, the sign of the Greek Orthodox here in Israel. Back to. Then let me show you where was the only entrance to the city. And you can see actually that something really strange happening here. Look at the floor, look at the road, you can see different kind of stones. That kind of stone, that kind of stone. And another kind of stone. And look at that car. Boof. At before 1977, before 1799, before the Napoleon actually occupied the city, that was part of the wall. That was the entrance to the city, and the wall was here. Boof. And the only entrance was from there. In front of the entrance, you could see that beautiful marble place. I mean, look how beautiful it is. Let's move to the other side, because it's, you know what, let me walk on the wall. Walk like Egyptian. And you can see it here. It is beautiful, isn't it? Then what is that structure? Before we will talk about the structure, I want you to understand that this is part of a beautiful mosque, which you can see here. And when the Muslims enter to a mosque, they must purify their hands and legs. Then this is a beautiful place for that. But let's talk, well, we like legends. That legend, I'm not sure that it's a correct one, but it's a beautiful one. The Sultan Abu Nabut, Nabut is the one who used the stick and used to hit people with it. He said, people can enter to the city from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Then no one can enter, no one can leave the city. He himself made a major mistake and he reached the city at 6:05. Their gates were closed. He tried to convince the people to open the gate, but without any success. At 6 a.m., he actually took those poor people, poor soldiers, and actually hugged them because they didn't open the gate. But then he took the nabut, the stick, and hit them. But another thing that he built is a water system, a water area, that people that made the same mistake and came from the city, which wasn't like that at that time. In the 19th century, it was full with orchards, that at least they can actually purify themselves or drink here. Now let me take you to, let me enter to the wall together with you. You must understand that, if you are watching my videos and you already subscribe to it, then you know that I'm taking a lot of videos of Jerusalem. And when we enter the gates of Jerusalem, it's less than 1 second. Let's see how wide are the walls of Jerusalem, of Jaffa. And that is called Jerusalem entrance. Remember, that was a wall. Now let's enter through that entrance and through the only gate of Jerusalem for so many years. Then whatever you see here used to be a wall. Now when you're entering to a city in peacetime, it's not a problem, but if you are soldiers and if you're a soldier and entering as an enemy, then they will make your life more difficult, because you have to turn right and then you will have to turn left. It's very difficult to deal with it. You can see it. At the gate itself, you can see a beautiful round garden tower, at least the base of it. We're still inside the wall. Now it looks like we are leaving the city, we are leaving, but no, we are still at the gate, in the gate, part of the gate. And the name of that street is Ha-Khalfanim, which, if you don't know Hebrew, it's difficult, but it's the exchange. Because, you know, when you enter to a city, one of the first things that you need to do is to exchange money. Then this is the place. A lot of exchange places were here at the 19th century. It's not the end of the wall, of the gate. We are still walking inside the gate. Can you understand how important Jaffa used to be? And Yafa was so important, even more than Jerusalem, because if you wanted to occupy the world, you had to start from Jaffa, and then Israel, the Middle East, and the rest of the world. But without Jaffa, it's almost you would have only a few % of success. Then Jaffa was so important. That's why today we are not climbing up. Jaffa is on top of the hill, but it's artificial. It's city on top of a city, on top of a city, on top of a city. That's the end of the gate, and the name of that street is Atzorfim, the one who deals with jewelry, gold, silver, because at the Ottoman time, the Ottoman money was so-so, well, really so-so, just like today. And the Turkish money, let's face it, no one wants that currency. And then you brought your own money. If you didn't, then you couldn't exchange it. But the best thing to do is to buy yourself, to rich here with gold and silver, and then you can sell it to them. Now, that was a short video, only 10 minutes. It is short. I do have so many videos of Jaffa. If you want to actually see it, first, subscribe to my channel. Secondly, just write my name, Zahi Shaked and Jaffa, and you will actually, you will be able to see hundreds of videos of Jaffa and thousands of videos of all the Holy Land. And wish us peace and love. And let's hope that the Iranian will be defeated again, which I'm sure that it will happen. And let's go to the main street. I want to show you a bakery. A very good bakery that everyone must visit. No, yes. Yeah, I didn't show it to you. Everyone must visit when they are reaching Jaffa. Next to it, it's the flea market. Now, the flea market is another good story. A lot of the salesmen reach, let's say, mostly from Europe, North Africa. Then they brought a lot of garbage from there and sold it here. Then that is the flea market until today. It's a beautiful, beautiful story, but I'm not going to enter to it now, that story, mainly because Etty, that you saw at the beginning of the video, is waiting for me.